Hello, 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 hello. Ubai, can you hear me? Ubai, can you hear me? Hello. Excuse me. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Let me see. Can you hear me? Okay, what happened here? Okay. Can you hear me? Okay, I think you guys can hear me, right? Start watch party. Mm, okay. Start. Let's go see. Okay, so I can hear you. Okay. Okay, so good evening, everybody. I'm sorry. Yesterday's I literally made a mistake. Let me check. Everything is good. My mic was not on. For that reason, 27 minutes, people did not hear me at all, and I did not check my mic at all. I am sorry for that. I'm just going to cover the same thing I did yesterday, but I have got the at least 6 to 8 requests to go over a little bit more details. So I made the same presentation, but we'll go more details. So basically, long story short, there is the DevOps engineer and quality engineer, both are the position from the software development team. Software development team is the team who build the application or the services for the company. A software can be mobile app, web application, anything else. So the quality engineer is known as a test engineer, and the DevOps engineer known as the modern system engineer or the cloud engineer. So basically, the both work on the same project. The end goal is to go live with the same project. Quality engineer more focus on the testing based on the same requirements business has given. And DevOps engineer, the focus is the building the whole infrastructure. Means building the whole infrastructure. It means DevOps engineer, the DevOps engineer work, that everything is ready. Then the quality engineer work for the testing. We will go to the slide very soon. DevOps engineer use more tools, and the quality engineer use certain tools use. DevOps engineer can be somebody, if somebody has an IT background, the existing IT background like networking, they can be like learning the DevOps engineering super fast. If somebody does not have the IT background, they still can become the DevOps engineer. Again, if somebody does not have a background, they can become quality engineer. So it can be both. Now the caveat is The working dimension is not the same. Again, once a software is getting developed, the DevOps engineer start building the whole infrastructure, like the installing the web server, creating all the integration, creating the security, doing the back end and front end integration, doing the load balancing. After all of this done, and then quality engineers start testing. So it means they work on the same team, but their work structure is different. Their tools are different, means they both use the different tools. Even though, because that's their working nature. Who can be software in the quality engineer? Who can be DevOps engineer? As for the reality of in the United States, this is the area people like normally the fake into their resume, which I think everybody knows. Um, so regardless of what you do in your resume, basically basically you have to have the skill set to become any of this. Okay. um, to become a DevOps engineer, you cannot be silo. You need to be excellent communication skills. You have to have the leadership skills. You have to have the some type of like innovative skills. So there is a bunch of things involved. Some of the quality engineer, the startup, you do not need to be any of this. Yes, those are excellent to have, but those, if you do not have it, some of the quality engineer, they just work under somebody else. But DevOps engineer work under somebody else. They need to respond to the email. They need to get into the call, explain to the things. They need to debug things. Quality engineer do not do those kind of things. A quality engineer test and find the issues, find the bug. Some bug is known bug with the development. Some issues with the infrastructure, like your hardware, your software, your services, all of this. When quality engineer find those issues, actually DevOps engineer look into those issues. So look at this. They both work on the same team. They both work on the same application. Quality engineer do not work with the operation team that much. DevOps engineer work with operation team a lot, because the DevOps means development and operation. Develop the DevOps engineer in the middle between the two teams. We'll look at this. Itself, DevOps is not a methodology. It is like the cultural shift. We will go into that as well. Challenges. Again, challenges in every job has a challenge. Every project has a challenge. Both use the some of the tools are common in the both positions, but some of the tools are uncommon or the not most used in both positions. Some example, quality engineer use Selenium WebDriver a lot for the GUI automation, the Postman and the RESTful, the testing tool for the API testing, and some other tools. However, DevOps engineer use the different tools. They use the GitHub, quality engineer use the GitHub. They use the Jenkins, quality engineer use the Jenkins. However, the DevOps engineer actually owns the GitHub, GitLab, and the Jenkins. Quality engineer just use those tools to be part of the CI/CD pipeline. So you see this, they need to be working collaboratively. Even though their working nature is different, but they work in the same team. Some of the tools the DevOps engineer use, which is industry grading, like they're almost the similar in everywhere. The same. Some of the tools quality engineer use, they're almost the same everywhere. As per the software development methodology, both work on the agile scrum, means agile methodology, agile scrum, Kanban, lean, whatever you name it, they both work on under the same methodology. And some of the okay, yep, sure. One of the question is the Mustafa asks, SOAP UI the versus the Postman, can you tell the differences? Okay. Yes, both is RESTful testing tools. And you can use the SOAP. SOAP is owned by the Smart Bear. That's the company. The Postman used by the Postman, owned by the Postman. Both are the testing tool. The both has the enterprise version. Both you can use for the automation. And but what do you use? Actually, there is no preference. The Postman used by the over 7 million people, like the developer, the QA, the product owner, the DevOps engineer, solution architect, they all use. It does not mean SOAP is also used by the many people, like a million of people. As per automation, you can do the automation using the both tools. As for the preference, I believe the SOAP UI has a more like the coverage. You can do both. You can use both. But as for the free, SOAP UI is free. Even if you ask the Google engineer, they'll say, yep, I use the Postman. If you use the Amazon engineer, oh yes, I use the Postman. It's like the free tools, everybody can get it. And so it has the more coverage. You can do again, we use the Postman in the IT transformation. Our members use the Postman for the documentation, API creation, manual testing, and the review, and then the automation, and then go to the GitHub and the CI/CD pipeline. Okay, so it has the robust coverage, and you can also integrate with the GitHub as well. You can do the enterprise level GitHub. You can do the static, like a one-on-one GitHub integration. Both can do the test automation. Both can do the manual testing. I personally don't like the SOAP UI, the user interface. It's like the too messy. But regardless of, you can use any of the tools, both do for the automation. You can do the SOAP testing, you can do the REST testing, both. You can import your like the test from one to another, pretty much. So those have those capabilities. So that's the question you had, okay? So that's the SOAP, and there is other tools as well in the market for using the RESTful API testing. But these tools are widely industry used. Basically, it's like if you know the driving, you can drive anything else. As for your life cycle, everything is the similar. So let's go back to the some of the what is called. Okay, so let's see here, and so I made the presentation for today. You're welcome. So again, so this is again text. So before we go into this, text for you has the major three transformation based on the community, my observation with our Bangladeshi community in North America. This is what I say. This is not the right. This is not the wrong. This is my own personal opinion and observation based on my own working experience in the industry on the multiple and the various domain. Okay. Quality engineer is for the people who never work in the industry, do not need to do the excellent like the communication skills, because communication means you need to communicate with the big audience. You can do that with the quality engineer unless you become a senior quality engineer, and somebody has the non-technical and technical background, and you can be quality engineer. But your roadmap, if you ask me, again, our community is more stuck with the quality engineer. Some people work in the quality engineer like years of years. They stuck with the quality engineer, even they are not like a quality architect. Basically, I worked like 4 years, then I become the quality architect, then I become the performance engineering architect, technical lead architect, technical solutions architect. It just, you need to drive where you need to go. So many people I know in the community, they are working in the quality engineer years of years, and they're stuck with the quality engineer. For the purpose of the DevOps engineer is a roadmap for the existing quality engineer, plus somebody want to be quality engineer, they have an existing background, or they have an excellent focus, excellent dedication, have a mindset that I want to spend 1 year nicely to learn my computer skills plus my DevOps engineer, they are completely capable to become a DevOps engineer. There is a caveat. Any of the position you go, of course, 1 month, at least 2 3 weeks, you need to be able to know the environment. You need to learn their people and the knowledge sharing, everything else. But still, you need to know what you're doing. But the quality engineer, the again, quality engineer, if you ask me, quality engineer roadmap, the career roadmap will be the, to my experience, DevOps engineer or can become a software engineer. Based on my even looking last 5 months, I did not see much in the community that he is a quality engineer. He wants to be software engineer. So it means the way I see the vision for the community, the DevOps engineer is one of the best positions. If somebody is quality engineer should go to the DevOps engineer because again, the salary wise is different, tools wise are different, the working style is different, job sustainability is different, job reliability is different. This is this is the how it is. It is nothing right or this is nothing wrong. Can everybody become a quality engineer? No. Can everybody become a DevOps engineer? No. Somebody has nothing to do. There is no background, right? And they just want to get into the um, not only the background, do not have other skill set to be a DevOps engineer. They should start with the quality engineer. They will do a good job with that. Somebody has the excellent the business mindset, technical mindset, communication skill, collaboration skills, presenting to the big audience, they can be DevOps engineer because DevOps engineer will go more details about the tools and technology. So let's go into the tools. Development methodology, both position use the agile scrum. So again, it's a scrum. That's what they do. Both work on the same. Scrum is like the sprint, the daily scrum, sprint execution, sprint also. What is the start? Okay. Design, product, backlog, scope, sprint planning, sprint backlog, sprint automation, daily scrum, sprint execution, sprint review, sprint retrospective. That's the scrum methodology. The DevOps engineer and quality engineer both work on the same software development methodology. So they're the same here. DevOps is not a methodology. DevOps is not a what is called something. DevOps is a culture. DevOps culture. It's like as we said, you have to have a strong collaborative mindset, communication mindset, honesty. Let me check back everything. Collaboration is the thing is, if something happened in your backend, it is not something you did it, or it is not something in your system did the related, or your area did it. Collaboration is something you do not just walk away. You do not just the hide the issues. What do you do? What collaboration is? You generate an email, you set up a meeting, bring the right people in the meeting, and you collaborate. You do not need to work until the problem is resolved. You just collaborate. That's called the collaboration. DevOps engineer need these skills. Quality engineer create a bug and they can just follow up with 1 or 2 people. Unless you become a senior quality engineer, you just lead the project. So you see the foundationally different. Communication. The moment you talk about the collaboration, the second thing is coming to the communication. Because when you, how you'll collaborate with like 10 people if you do not communicate with them. So communication and collaboration and communication, they're the same. Honesty and openness. Look at that. Honesty and openness is related with the collaboration. Remember, if you see an issues in your project or in your system, even though you do not maintain that system or you are not involved with those issues, but because of your collaboration, you lead the issues end to end to fix the problem. That shows your honesty and openness. So that's one of the example. Okay. Yes, so I'm going to answer this. Trust. Again, when you do the strong communication, collaboration, honesty, that brings the trust. Means when you communicate visually. You communicate precisely. You give your communication is transparent, means you give the information as much as details. Trust. Embrace embrace failure. It means, of course, you do not scare to fail. In every project, we go through the struggle, we fail, okay? And you do not scare to fail. That's part of the cultural shift. So that's the DevOps. To become a DevOps engineer, you need to have this mindset. Again, DevOps is culture versus DevOps engineer is two different things. Quality assurance versus quality engineer, quality analyst is two different things. Quality assurance is like a, what is called? It's like a the software quality assurance. Quality engineer is a position of the quality assurance, and DevOps engineer is a position of the DevOps culture. Let's go back to the no blame. In a corporate world, in a good teamwork, we do not blame. The moment we see an issues, we just identify what is the issues, who we need to bring together, who we need to collaborate and communicate together to fix the issues. Yes, we do the what is called the issue resolution, like why did it happen, what we could do better in the next time to mitigate this kind of issue. We do the triage. We, what is called, it is like we do the post-mortem report after a big the production failure happened, but we do not upfront blame game. Oh, Tanya, you are the reason what happened. Oh, Abidur, you are the reason what that happened. No, we do not. Something happened, we just call the right person, collaborate with the right people, and fix the problem and communicate with everybody. So no blame game. We do not do this. Anytime issues happen, we just communicate, collaborate. Accountability. Accountability is, if you make a commitment, you need to be hold yourself accountable. Means, I told you I'm going to do this by tomorrow 12 p.m. Do your best. If you are not able to do it by tomorrow 12 p.m., just proactively, again, accountability bring the proactiveness. Means you reach out to the person before 12 p.m. that, hey, even though I have made the commitment with you that I will finish these activities by 12 p.m. this noon. I'm sorry, I only finished the 80% of the work because I got stuck with something else, and I'm making the commitment. As soon as the is done, I'll attempt to get it done by today. So instead of that person come to your desk and shoulder, hey, what happened? Why do you need to do that? Oh, you said at like at 12 p.m. it will be done, and you're just like the hiding under the desk. So let not people hold you accountable. You hold yourself accountable. Make the commitment and tell the people, even though I told you I will be doing this, but I was stuck because of this. It's very important. Part of the DevOps culture. Grassroots innovation. It means many companies just do the typical way, build the process, follow the boss, follow the leaders. The the part of the DevOps is like the innovate the new way of doing things. You can do something so many ways you can do something. But if you focus on the innovation, like I will do in a way that it is productive, it is efficient, it is long-term sustainable, it is reusable, it is less maintainable, those call the innovation, instead of just doing things. Okay, that's part of the DevOps culture. Rewarding good behavior means appreciate other people. If somebody did something, just shout out them. Again, DevOps culture goes to the agile. That's part of the thing. Transparency means whenever you communicate, whenever you do something, make sure other people knows it. Make sure you go through the review process. Okay, make sure you just don't be like the bragging. Oh, whatever I did, nobody needs to review what I did. Don't do this. Those are not the DevOps culture. Tools. Of course, the tools means the software the team uses, the DevOps uses, and the changing is good. Changing is good means in a modern IT, if you want to work in the IT, the first things you need to have change mentality, means adopting new things, means you do not just get stuck what you know. All I show you that even though I don't know these tools you're using, but I'm more than willing to learn and contribute. And I'm a quick learner. That's what I want to hear in an interview. Anytime we interview people, because thousand of million of company, the many companies, they use their own methodology, they do things their own way, they have their own tools, internal tools, some like the common tools. But show your willingness that you can do whatever is need to be done, even though you did not do it before, but you are ready to do, means they will hire you. Okay, software developers has to go through the lots of coding, that's correct, responsibility and the headache. Better to be the DevOps or the QA engineer with less coding but best structure control of SDLC. I do agree with him. Yes, yes. Software developer again is not the headache. Yes, software developer, they have chosen that career roadmap and they want to solve the problem. So this is a very good position. And if somebody does not have that mindset, they do not need to. They do not need to be software, because the software developer, QA, BA, system analyst, DevOps engineer, solutions architect, enterprise architect, they're all part of the software development team. They all work on the same project. They all build the same application or the website or the service. Just their working style is different. Okay. Good observation, Mustafiz. DevOps, as I said, operation means business operation. Development means development team quality assurance. The DevOps is everywhere. When the development is going, the DevOps engineer build the whole infrastructure, means my application needs to have the 10 web server, my application needs to have a 50 load balancer, my application needs to have the 200 the backend server, my application needs to have the monitoring, my application needs to have like the go to the cloud natives, my application needs to have like the front end, my application needs to have the back end, my application needs to have the middleware, my application needs to have the NoSQL database, my application needs to have the relational database. This all the things, the infrastructure, the whole platform prepared by the DevOps engineering team. So after they prepare it, then the QA team come to the picture to do the testing. Again, a projects start with the Agile Scrum methodology. A developer write the code based on a business requirements in the 2 weeks sprint. A DevOps engineer build the whole infrastructure, again, the CI/CD pipeline, Git and Jenkins integration, Jenkins and the staging integration, Jenkins and the production integration, Jenkins and the test integration. All the integration is done by the DevOps engineer. After the integration is done, the QA come to the picture and then they do start the testing. Again, so the developer, then the DevOps engineer, then the QA. Again, that's how they work. There is anybody in the software development team, they need to, if they know the coding, is always plus one. As a DevOps engineer, you do not need to know the coding. You have some scripting, which is like the Python scripting, Ruby scripting. Basically, some of the tools you'll be using, like the Ansible, like the Vagrant, right? Those are the like specific tools. Yeah, okay. So it's like it's a Python scripting. You can say Python. You can call the Ruby. Those the tools has their own like all the code ready. Okay. So one thing you need to learn. Whenever you hear that a team use specific tools, a tools means a lot of things are done. You just need to be able to learn how to use those tools and to do your work. Yes, you have the Python, and you have the Terraform, and you have the Ansible, you have the Vagrant. Those tools have their own like the pre-made code. You can use them. The like the to do the get started with the DevOps engineer. 70% is code is ready to go. Through us, we will be providing those the code and the all the resource with you when you work in the industry. Good question. I mentioned that. Okay. So now let's go back to the DevOps life cycle. DevOps engineering life cycle means development, as I said, integration, as I said, after development, then the whole integration, and then the testing, means testing team start testing, then the monitoring. The two things, monitoring is very critical in any modern software platform, any modern software platform, because of we are building a lot of microservices. Microservice is a, instead of we are building a gigantic like the 3 million line of code, we actually the break them down in the small module, small features. Okay, that we call the microservice. The 20 years ago it was the monolithic system, the big like a mainframe system. It's like the $10 million, $20 million system. You just put all the code is there, so difficult to do the coding, so difficult to do the bugging, debugging, so difficult to identify the issues, and so difficult to actually enhance the system. Is tremendous amount of the headache to work on the monolithic system. So that solved by the microservice means you will do the whole big application, but you are making the small pieces. So small pieces that they will have their own requirements. Under the requirement, they will have their own databases. So your development is faster. Your development team is smaller. You can debug faster. You can go to the market faster, and you can enhance faster. A lot of things. Of course, the moment you hear the so many microservices, the second moment is integration. The moment you hear the integration means a lot of testing. And the moment you hear the lot of microservices, the most important part is monitoring. Means if you have a microservice, if you have a 10 microservice, and if you have each microservice has a like the 10 the server, then you have 100 server, example, right? And if you have a 1 million customers, think about the Bank of America. Think about the Amazon, right? Think about the Facebook. They have all the microservices. They have a billions of users, right? So think about that. So the moment you hear the microservices, the same moment you need to talk about the monitoring. Monitoring is two pieces. One is your platform monitoring, means your server, your services, you like the memory, you like the disk, you like the APIs, your API gateway, your message broker, your code, and those are the things you need to monitor. For the business side, monitoring is the process. Again, I was the lead, the global monitoring architect, so I actually designed this, so I kind of know what I did. For the operation team, for the business side, monitoring is the use cases. The user log into the app and they're doing something, and that flow need to be monitored. Why? How long it takes? How long it takes to complete? What user does? And the which most functionality user use in my application? When is the downtime? What time of the day the system is quite busy? What time of the month system is very busy? What time of the week system is very busy? And what type of user is coming to the system? Where is this user is coming from? And what type of what type of functionality they are using? This all part of the operation monitoring. That's where the money is coming. That's all the data. You see, nowadays there is nothing is valuable than the data, because operation team capture all the user behavior. Okay, and then they start the manipulating. Means they send the same data to the marketing team, and marketing team start massaging those data. Okay, and they see, wow, Saturday Sunday we're getting the $1 billion hit because the this, and from the California, LA County, our application is getting hit by the 50,000 user, and we are selling a lot of product. That's part of the monitoring, and this is designed by the DevOps engineer. That's not part of the QA engineer. So become a DevOps engineer, you're kind of center of the attention. Means they know who you are. You know the backend, you know the front end, you know the integration, you know the load balancing, you know the web server, you know the app server, you know the backend integration, you know the front end integration, you know the cloud integration, you know the non-cloud integration. Because because that's the DevOps engineer role. Okay, as a QA engineer, you are solely responsible for the API testing, mobile app testing, web-based testing. You are doing the database query. But though the whole thing is like the prepared. Prepared means built by the DevOps engineer. So they all work the same team on the under the software development, follow the agile scrum, and they do the same project, and their end goal is to go to live with the application. So the monitoring, then the feedback again. From the monitoring, the operation team can receive the feedback from the end customer. From the monitoring, operation can know how the application is behaving. So they get the feedback. And deployment. Deployment is the most important thing DevOps engineer does. When a developer writes the code, this code need to go to the server, means in that server, if it is the Node.js stack, the DevOps engineer need to install the in Ubuntu machine, need to install the Node.js server, need to install the Node.js package, need to install the all the dependency on that server, then deploy the code. Deploy the code means the developer, the Node.js developer wrote the code of the business requirement. DevOps engineer just deploy the code in that server. That's called the deployment. Why you do the deployment? And then your end clients, means your web user or your mobile app user, when they request from this server, they get the request. This is called the deployment. Again, this is the American word, deployment. Remember the deployment? Like our 2000, the soldier is deployed to Iraq. 2000 soldier is deployed to Afghanistan. Deployment means you just put it. You just appointed to somewhere else. So this is the integration. That's the DevOps engineering use this kind of tools. Again, mix and match in the, again, some of the tools they use directly. Some of the tools they work with the other team member, like the quality engineer and software engineer. But this is the mix and match solution. So deploy the Docker, Vagrant, Puppet, Chef, SaltStack, Ansible, Slack, Splunk, Nagios. This is all the development. So monitoring tool is Slack. Splunk is the monitoring. Nagios. Nagios is for the your infrastructure, like the hardware, memory monitoring, processor monitoring. Slack, you already know this. Slack is called your notification come to the Slack automated way. Splunk is like you go to the hardware monitoring and the software monitoring. Ansible is the your deployment of the automation. Okay, that's the operate and the deploy is your those are the tools. Docker is containerization. Vagrant is the virtual box of the VMware of the automation, and those kind of tools they use. Hudson is like the, again, Jenkins own the Hudson. So integration is the in the middle. That's the DevOps engineering tools. Yes, we do the in our DevOps. We go to the Docker. All the tools are we go to the Docker. We do the Vagrant. We go to the Ansible. Of course, Slack is there. Nagios is here, and we have the AWS cloud. We have the Kubernetes. So yes, it's not everything. We have more tools because DevOps engineer is the more tools than the quality engineer. Of course, the GitHub for the CI/CD pipeline, GitHub and Jenkins for the CI/CD pipeline. Yes, so those are the tools the DevOps engineer use to build the whole deployment, whole infrastructure. So workflow for the DevOps, again, they're in the middle, and that's what they do. That's what they do in the business side and the operation side. Now let's go to the automation tool for the DevOps. Again, this is the tool they use: continuous deployment, and the Jenkins, and then they use the Docker, they use the Jenkins and the GitHub, Ansible, Puppet. Again, as I just said, the previous slide and this slide is kind of the same. This is the tools. So when you hear the automation engineer for the quality, automation engineer for the DevOps, they both do the automation. Again, they both do the automation. One automate the whole platform, one automate the API automation or the GUI automation. But they do the automation. But their automation is different. Now come to the quality engineer lifecycle. So because I bring it to the second, because you need to bring it to the second. Quality cannot go right after the deployment. Right after the development, it has to be DevOps engineer. Then come to the quality engineer. They, of course, they're part of the planning, they're part of the design, they're part of the construct, they're part of the testing, they're part of the release, everything, they're part of this. DevOps engineer is the same. Again, that's a quality engineer, quality engineering, quality continuous quality engineering, continuous quality engineering. Quality is all the time. Quality is not like only the testing, quality is everywhere. Some quality engineer tools, they use Postman, SOAP UI, Ready API, REST Client, Java Selenium WebDriver, Jenkins, GitHub, GitLab, TFS, Jira, and many more. Sorry, I wanted to say the, let me fix it. Let me fix it. Let me fix it. Yep, many more. Okay. So and the quality automation lifecycle. So this is the software quality engineer lifecycle. It means the automated lifecycle means you need to decision to automate the testing. When you work on any application, everything start with the understanding the business requirements, and the development start, you involve with the manual testing. If you are not able to do the manual testing, there is a specific, the software quality assurance analyst, they do the manual testing. But as a quality engineer, you need to be able to understand your the functionality really well, application really well, and then you can decide what need to be automated. So that's come to the decision to automate testing. Testing tool acquisition means you need like the Postman for the API, or the SOAP UI for the Postman, and then the Selenium WebDriver for the GUI automation, and the APM for the mobile automation. That's called the testing tool acquisition. Automated testing introduction process. Of course, this is like all the formal process many company follows, many company do not follow. Doesn't matter. But there is like a what is called introduction. Always you need to communicate what you are going to do the automation. So you need to give a formal presentation to the leadership, to the business team, that this automation need to be done. Okay. Okay. So the yes, Mustafiz, you can see now test planning, design, and the development. Okay. So of course, the testing, planning, and designing and development. Of course, this is most important part. You need to do the plan. What you need to do the testing. You need to have the test cases. You need to do your test data preparation. You need to make sure those test data is reusable. You need to make sure those test data is only for the automation. You need to make sure those test data has the multiple series of the test cases coverage, so you can do the business test, business scenario. And then you need to design, means you need to write the code, and then you need to develop the code. Design and develop the code means you need to write the code and debug the code. You need to code it, make sure code is running, and then you go to the Git to store your code, and you go to the Jenkins to run the code automated unattended. So you become the CI/CD pipeline. Execution and management test, which is part of the UCI/CD like a Jenkins, and the test program review and assessment. Again, the automation testing, if you run from the Jenkins, of course you get the reporting. For the GUI, there is reporting. Jenkins has a lots of like the plugin you can use for your automation. You can review those kind of. So once you do the automation, is just trigger your test result. So you can make the test reporting, and most of the time, if you are a leader, then you need to do the test reporting. Means you need to put together the how many test case pass, how many test case fail, and you need to write like the presentation, and you need to send to the so-called like the non-technical leadership. In the modern leadership, they don't care the test result. They just look into the Jenkins, how many tests pass, how many tests fail, you are good to go. And most of the things in the quality engineer, the challenges, they do the testing in the graphical user interface, which is the web automation. The challenge is it takes time. It fills a lot of time, and then the build and automation is time consuming, and the many times the after you go to the production, automation does not have much value because the test fail a lot. So the your automation, many times the team does not see the value. So the best thing always, if you work in a microservice environment, if your application has all the RESTful API, always do the API automation. That is fast, to the point, specific, easy to monitor, easy to do the automation. Automation is faster. Automation bring the real like a result quicker, and the team is happy, and you can debug to the point. That's the reason modern software development, where the microservices and the exposing all the RESTful APIs, you always go with the focus 60%, 70% always do the RESTful API. Then you can do the 20%, 30% the GUI automation, because the same APIs exposed. Exposed means consumed by the web application or the mobile application. For this reason, you really can you can do the mix and match. So you need to do the 60% the API automation. You can do the 20%, 30% like the GUI automation. You cannot automate everything. That's the reason automation is always, it cannot be automate everything. That's the bottom line. So let's go back to the next one. Oh, any Q&A? Mustafa asked a lot of questions. Let's see who else. Any other question, guys? Okay. So now come back to the, thank you guys. I just wanted to make sure I make it clear. So now the caveat is we are going to start on January, the first week, the quality engineer and the DevOps engineer. And the DevOps, both are the transformation program, the 8-month minimum. Of course, it can go longer. All our program is transformation, because the way people communicate, and the way people like the verbal communication, writing communication, and then the commitment, responsibility, technical, non-technical, working the understand the corporate culture, understand the software development, the culture, understand the team communication, understand the project communication, understand the working challenge as a team, understand the challenge working in a agile scrum and the environment, understand the application, the project. Those like important, anything you do in a software development, as a quality engineer, and our members, everybody goes through this. That's the reason we call the transformation, because transformation means whatever you will be doing, like you are from one to the another, and you have to be you have to be fully transformed into that from one to two. So the DevOps engineer is the same. Plus, we do not use somebody's application. We use our own application. The Tech Support is a software development company. We build application. We are building more and more application. Our focus is the completely on the cloud native solution. Means everything you build on the cloud, you deploy on the cloud. That's called the cloud natives. And we use the different modern software development stack, like microservices. We use the Node.js for our backend, Python for our backend, and all the RESTful API. We have our own, like we build from the scratch, and we have our own the production environment and the staging environment, and we have our own GitHub and GitLab. We have our own Jenkins server. We have our own CI/CD pipeline. So the moment you become part of the tech stuff for you, we expose you everything we have, and you are making the commitment. You are working in the tech stuff for you as like based on your learning, and you are doing, and you are building your confidence. Of course, the 8 month is it 8 months is enough? We cannot say 8 months is enough, but 8 months is a good period of time. If somebody really focus 2 hours, 3 hours, or at least 2 hours every day, it is not that difficult. And we have our own the program design. We update the program every day. We covered for the quality engineer, the front end, back end, middleware, API. For the DevOps, we have the CI/CD pipeline, Jenkins, Git, the Docker, the Linux, the cloud, multi-cloud, and the VPC, routing, API gateway, the Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible, Vagrant, and those kind of things. You'll be on the monitoring, the relational database, the NoSQL database. Those are the things we do cover in our program. Our program is not stuck with the typical like the anytime anything you say content. We continuously update our program based on the what is trending in the industry. And are we able to do everything? I do not think we are able to. Are we building people the foundation strongly? Yes, we are. Um, um, like, are we just giving you the hope you will do everything and you'll be successful here? I do not give hope nobody. You have to come here, you have to work sincerely, you have to focus, you have to listen, you have to dedicate, you have to be aligned with us. Then I'm happy. If you are not, if I'm telling you one, you are doing another one. If I'm telling you focus on one thing, you are focusing on the different thing. Again, your success, you are taking the responsibility of your success. I'm telling you everything need to be done. You can do it slowly. I can tell you the technique, I can show you how to do this, but at the end of the day you have to do this. You have to put your effort, you have to take it easy, you have to absorb it, and then you'll be successful. Success does not mean you have to make it happen in 5 months. There is no damn things in the world that we make it in a short period of time. You do it, then you need to continue, enhance, then you become the best. You do not become the best in the day one. You build the foundation, you enhance it, you enhance it, you enhance it, you enhance it, then you become the person. So again, if somebody is coming with the 3 month, 4 month intention, and then you're done, I don't think, not only us, you should not even go any training center, because do not waste your money. To transform into IT, to come to the IT, you should have a mindset that I do not have a background. I should be sticking with the program. I should be focused. I should have a strong dedication. I should have the energy, learning, doing, learning, doing, having patience, having passion. Everything need to be done. Then you will be successful. That's the become like a you can be like the IT professional. So that's all our the thing. For our quality engineer, it is so the way that things work. We do charge $4,000. You start with 1,000, then you pay monthly at Zelle, Cash App, Venmo, first week or the second week. And then if you are United States the graduate here, then you get the scholarship. And that's the one way. And now you can say, oh, I don't have the scholarship, I don't have the like a degree, what can I do? If you do excellent in the workshop, of course you will be getting the scholarship as well. You will get the like a bonus, kind of like it can be 5% the reduce. Again, that happens, you earn it. It's not like a discount. If you do excellent in the workshop, you're focused, you are dedicated, you're learning, you're growing, you're taking the feedback, you're mentoring, you go to the group meeting, you're growing through the challenges, and you share, you're open to the feedback, you're learning, and you're giving the feedback. Those are the things you're really getting ready. And we ensure that they actually from the January they will start getting the some type of the what is called like the some type of reward instead of calling the scholarship. Now, the people has a mindset, and they want to do this, and they want to do slowly. And again, our program is unlimited until you learn everything, you get confident. Again, learning is never done. Learning is never ended. There is constantly we have to learn. That's how the learning process is. For the DevOps engineer, it's the same thing. We're studying on the January. We do the workshop one day a week because there is a purpose. 90% of the people from in the community, they say, well, I got a training and this guy is super fast. They have a 2 days and nobody knows what he's talking and he's just going. We do not do any of this. We go slowly. We give 1 week and the 3 hours. We give the whole week. The people can work as a team. They can absorb it and they can do it. They can prepare it. They can learn their own. They can work with us. They can work with the team, and they can perfectly understand, put into their heart that they're good. Unless the typical like of the training center or the education system, they just go through the module by module. We do not do this. We normally stuck with the same thing at least couple weeks until we see most of the people is done or the solid commitment. So those are the things we do. For the DevOps engineer, again, this is the 8-month program, $5,000. The 8-month program minimum, all the tools I mentioned. You can go to the text of audio, the group, you can join. We have the contents there. And then if you have any questions, you can join on the my Facebook page, my Facebook personal the profile. You can join to the text of audio, the public, the page. Then you can do the YouTube. We are going to the YouTube from the next week. And then, of course, you can ask me question. My number is 586-665-3331. Again, 586-665-3331. You can call me or you can text me. I'll be happy to talk. The best things I do, I'm available to talk with you all the time. I force you. I confront you. I actually try to put you back to the focus. I try to do all of this because this is how I grown up in my corporate the world. This is how I have been led by other people. That's the way I grow quickly, and I did whatever I did, and I think I did pretty good in my career. And I'm just sharing my knowledge, and the other people can grow, and that's the goal of the Tech for you. So anyway, guys, thank you very much. We covered everything we needed. We'll talk. Come tomorrow, Zoom. I will share the Zoom link. Only there is no Facebook Live. You can ask the program like the DevOps engineer or the quality engineer or the software engineering. Any question you have, I will be answering you one-on-one. You do not need to worry about you're on the Facebook Live. Somebody is listening you. You do not need to worry about it. So tomorrow, the 9 p.m. Eastern time on Zoom, I will sending the Zoom link on the Facebook page, my personal page, and the WhatsApp group, so you can join and we can talk. Thank you very much. Have a good night.